Hello everybody and welcome to the Viper's Pit. I'm your host, Pit Viper 327, and today we're going to be talking about customizations. And what we have here happens to be my clutch with an 82 waist. Well, he has the swivel arms right here. I had to take care of him this way because there was no way I could get the other 83 waist, as you can see on the back, since it actually, you can barely see that it says 1982 on here. But I'm really satisfied with it whatsoever. I know that some people may not like customizations, but overall you have to work with what you got these days. And of course I had the same thing here when I bought this guy off of eBay, which is the Sea Slug, which happens to be wearing the waist of Dr. Mindbender and the Techno Viper legs, as you can see right here. I actually think he came out pretty good. Also, I've been also working on my Cobra HISS, and I bore some holes in this little guy right here. And he was a little beat up when I got him off of eBay for like about $5, but after doing some customization work and putting holes in there for the cannons, it came out pretty good. And I'm also working on my G.I. Joe Tiger fly. I actually painted the engines on the back at the moment with a flat black base coat, and then over here, as you see, I also bored into the gun of the laser. So it's going to be painted too, but right now it's just actually, this is just a what you would call a primer coat at this point in time, so then that way I can actually put some yellow into it. And these right here are the landing gear, or skids that is, and as you see, it's not the nice glossy black that you would get on your Tiger fly. But the thing about it is, it was green, and the little nubs were kind of falling off, so I had to glue them on using this little guy right here, which is actually the Gorilla Glue with the clear grip. And actually, that stuff works pretty good, too. So if you have a problem with that, that's one of the things. And just like I said in the past, you have to make sure that this type of plastic you want to clean up thoroughly, because what will happen is that it'll just come right off if you don't wash it, or at least sand it down a little bit with a little bit of a fine sandpaper. And this is the stuff that I'm using again, which is actually the Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover Paint and Primer, which actually works really well. And you can get that at any hardware store or paint store. And what I want to do now is, we all come through the problems with stuff like this, where you guys have these little wiggly legs, or sometimes their arms go off, especially for Storm Shadow here. So what I have to do here is, some people use plumber's tape to actually get the joints going. Like sometimes some people would put them in here, but what I did was I put a little bit of Gorilla Glue onto the arms here, so then that way they could stiffen up nicely, so then that way there won't be any issues with it. I've also used the Gorilla Glue too on the legs, and that I can show you right now. So what you need to do is, when you get the part of the leg right here, you want to put a little dab of the Gorilla Glue like so, and then when you do, you just let it sit for a little bit, and what will happen is that you work it out a little bit, so that way it don't go overboard, but just put a little bit like so, like that, and then just let it sit a little bit to work it out. And what you do from this point on is that you just like put it around the base. I mean, it's okay to use your finger, just make sure that you don't come in contact with anything else. Just tap it down a little bit, because what we'll do is you'll actually give it a little extra tightness to it. So, just let it sit for about maybe 5-10 minutes. And then after that, when you get it going, you can just make sure that start the kits. But the thing about this is that this type of glue does cure pretty quickly. Sorry about that, I bumped the camera. Those things happen when you're actually recording. But anyhow, once you do that, as you see that there is a little bit of glue on here for this joint. You want to make sure that you put the leg back in like so. And then from then on, you pop this little guy back in to place, and then just make sure you work it a little bit. As you can see, unlike the other guy, he's wiggling. This guy, he's actually moving back and forth like so. So just got to work at it a little bit at a time, so then that way it actually has a nice effect of it being, more sturdier and tighter so then this guy can actually stand up again. I'll probably be doing some work with Storm Shadow here sometime in the near future, so then that way I can actually make him look more presentable, because right now, as you see, his thumbs are broken off, but his legs and stuff just need a little work. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to access the back area here at this point in time because, as you see, there's no screw in the back. So, for another channel, I will put him down and let him rest. But like I said, as you see, this is what I'm working on right now. Tigerfly, custom figures, and of course the Hiss tank. I'll keep you guys posted on the next video, so just make sure that you guys leave a like, make sure you guys subscribe, and hit that bell for that notification. And please leave a comment below. I greatly appreciate it. And you guys have a good one. And this is the Pit Viper 327 signing off. Have a good one.